Hi, Warriors. How's everyone doing? Remember, I talked about that I've seen energy top on the beginning of hostilities. So far, that is what's happened during this event, too. So, write it down in your notebook in case, a few years from now, similar situation happens that there's usually this type of reaction. I don't think this is the end of the rally, but that was, $6 ago. So how you doing, Ingmar? Dale? Yeah, okay. Mike, Bran, RJP, Ryan's here, Kman's here. Good morning, guys. John Hawkins, Steve Bartholomew, AJ. Okay. Sleepless nights. Okay, well, too much leverage then. Okay. Too much leverage, Sinatra. Take it down. Okay. Hi, JB. Ralph, nice to meet you. Welcome to Face. Let's talk about some markets here. Okay. So I wanted to ask Ryan about, oh, hi. How are you, sweetie? All right. Anyway, I wanted to ask you about this, Ryan. Good morning. ECB's DeGuindos, Marcus understood ECB message very close to target. So he's just reaffirming what happened in the presser.
Yeah,
And okay,
yeah. But
anything, go ahead.
I was going to say his other comment. He was speaking about the level of the euro at 115 isn't an issue because it's not a volatile move, not a crazy move. So it's another bit of a green light that they're
Okay.
happy with the currency. Otherwise, yeah, another one jumping on the victory lap bus.
Okay. God, yeah, everyone can't wait to take them. I thought that only happened on X, but it happens in the government, maybe more. So,
Yeah,
I am looking for a correction in euro. I looked at Greg's count here, and he doesn't have the same, he has a different view, that we're going to probably just have a shell. This is full, I don't know. We haven't even finished three in his work. But I did notice this, okay, that's previous low, and Grega has it as a trend line break, and I have it as a return line in this same level here. So, am I comfortable that Grega doesn't see it? What I'm seeing? Uh, no. But I usually don't like to be on the other side of the market. So anyway, just showing you guys how, I use the platform for, my ideas. I'm the type of guy that I do my thing and then I look around and see what after the fact. Anyway, so where's your head at on Euro? It held your 115 like a champ Friday.
yeah, yeah. Even though I didn't manage to trade it, I traded it the other way, going for a bit of a punt. Yeah, it's. I think we should be back at 116 sooner rather than later if this risk on or lack of risk off over the weekend keeps
Yeah.
powering on. I'm quite interested to see what you guys do with it in the States. You haven't really steamed in just yet.
Okay.
The dollar's looking a little bit more bid than it was before, but here and there. But yeah, the world didn't end, did it, over the weekend? And the market's probably going, okay, we can ignore this now and go and trade other stuff.
Yeah, it looks like S&Ps will at least make new highs for this move up here. Um, so Jim called this an ABC. I talked to my buddy, and he's looking for a new high to sell into.
Yeah,
So anyway, gold's taking it on the chin.
yeah.
Um,
Look at
you know,
oil.
Yeah. So I had this trend line up here, okay,
Yeah.
before the attack. And it still amazes me how, markets can respect lines, just a, semi-random line, but look at that.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people are probably going to say that's it. I'd buy a pullback to 65 or so. It's going to be pretty volatile oil. So, I do think that something's going to happen in the Straits if they get desperate enough. China wouldn't like it. No one would like it, okay, because it's going to affect everyone, especially the U.S. won't like it. So, but a pullback, I think you could buy it just in case they they have the capability of doing it. And, in desperate times, people take desperate measures. So,
But I think
go ahead.
that's why it won't happen, because if they do that, they're not just hitting Israel; they're hitting everyone. They're hitting all the other Gulf states, and they need their backing still
Who
in
backs
some
them?
way. Well,
Who backs them in the Middle East?
well, just the other Middle East countries. The Saudis. Yeah, they're not with Iran, but they're if Iran does something like that, then they're going against everyone in that region,
Yeah, that's
um,
true.
and
You make a
and
lot of
that's
enemies.
yeah, and
Uh,
and so they lose whatever limited backing they have.
okay. All right. Why don't we talk about I'd like to see the trend line on Canada that you guys have, the uptrend, because it's certainly it's sure giving people a lot of chances to sell that trend break, isn't it? Not saying it can't work, but it's taking its time, don't you think?
Absolutely, it's grinding, isn't it?
Yeah,
And yeah, bit on the oil bus. I think this one we're seeing some of those correlations come back in the last couple of weeks or so. But yeah, I mean, you can't get more technical than that.
yeah.
It's underside of your line. I've got me 136.50 around there as well. Well below there now, and yeah, it's no reason why this should be reversing meaningfully higher unless something massively changes in oil or the US dollar.
Okay. And comment on cable.
Waffling. it's,
Pass me the syrup.
it's not going up. It's not going down. We've got the Bank of England this week, so
Yeah.
the foot might be coming off the gas a little bit with that risk event. But yeah, I think unless we get a big move in the dollar, this might be going a bit sideways for a while.
Okay, so what are your expectations for the Fed this week, Ryan?
Not a lot. I don't think there's any reason for them to give us anything new. Power will walk both sides of the line as usual. Highlight the risks, highlight the politics, highlight the geopolitics, highlight the economy and the data, and say there's no real reason to do anything, but they're still going to be attentive to those risks and are ready to act on both sides of the mandate. Blah 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 blah. Come back in September.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
No, mate.
Some real good input, especially the waffle. I all I do is drink coffee for 3 hours when I get up. So you already made me hungry. And let's bring in Kman. How are you, buddy? Good
Hey
morning, good
Dale,
afternoon.
hello everybody. I'm fine, thank you.
You doing anything in silver here?
No, but I'm keeping what I have
Okay.
because slowly but surely, and I was speaking about that on the Flow show as well. I'm a little more confident in silver than I'm in gold. Yeah, the gold silver ratio is coming down a bit, but
A bit.
I think there's a bit of maybe again, we have seen before and over the weekend very early doors in Asia that demanding gold, but then yes, it's higher and we're very close to all-time highs, and I think we're going to take them, but it may slow down compared to silver. Also, I think because of perhaps a bit of positioning. There's a lot being bought on every headline, and maybe gold is just going to be a bit slower than silver. So I prefer to keep the silver as compared to gold.
Okay. Well, this is definitely telling you to do that. This is
Mm.
a little bit of a rebound, but
We've
this
spoken
is not
about it when we were towards the
this.
highs. Eh? We have spoken about this that was the risk that something may start to change.
Yeah. And this to me just looks like a rebound. Any view on yields? Have the 10-year up about 3.5
Yeah,
bips?
I mean,
Is this a flag right here?
uh, could be, but I think it's rather perhaps a bit of a reaction to things haven't gone completely out of hands, that people sold back a bit of bonds perhaps, but I think it's still more to do with what's going to happen with tariff and fiscal policies in the US that's keeping the yields where they are. And what is still telling is that you can hardly, maybe yen a bit, but you can hardly trade much in FX based on what the dollar yields are doing right now. And let's face it, all those yields, they still move quite a bit in tandem with each other.
H-
So
Higher or lower yields?
for me,
Well, you're who I'm talking to.
higher first and
All
then
right.
collapsing.
Okay. 470? You would
Yeah.
test that up there?
Oh yeah, easy. I think easy when he's going to come and with all his tax cuts and stuff, and
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to go easy up there. And the bond market could go a bit ballistic even. Why not? 480, 490.
Yeah.
But then once it will get clear that that may not be the main factor for keeping yields up, apart from funding, it's gonna go the other way.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to take out. This was the Moody's downgrade, which was
Mm,
a temporary low,
mm,
sell the rumor by the fact. It looks like it's going to take it out. It looks
yeah,
like just a little bit. The bounces get weaker and weaker. This bounce was
yeah,
stronger than this, and this was, off a new low. So I see new lows in TLT coming as well.
yeah.
Um, and
It's funny
any,
if you because if you over no not a perfect, but oil doesn't look too different to that. Oil doesn't really look too different to this scenario. Got those spikes and then it's getting sold again.
yeah,
It
yeah,
looks pretty similar. But okay, I mean correlations are what they are right now, which are extremely random. One day they are there, then the next day they are completely gone. Um, Now, well, for the rest, I'm still basically short dollars, biased short dollars.
okay.
Don't change the team for now. I think Dollar CAD is on a small leak lower, slow leak lower. It's interesting that there was some and it hasn't been widely talked about, but Trump said something about not doing separate deals with Mexico and Canada right now, and he's rather waiting for the big revision of the USMCA, which was first touted to be second half of this year or starting from July, but now the article or the report or the article or the rumor said that that revision may only come in 2026, which in theory, to me, would not be a bad thing for either Canada or Mexico, right?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I think really the focus this week is the Fed, and
Mm.
what do you think is going to happen?
Um, well, Powell will walk all lines, all sides of the aisle, and not change much. I don't think that they should change anything right now in regards to inflation or jobs. Um, And if they are reacting instead of proacting, this week should be in theory a non-event.
So Friday we held the 5920 level again. So I
Mm,
talked about that level before. 5920 was really the area that the market tried to hold
mm,
before it accelerated to the downside. Look at this,
yeah,
5920, 5920, 5920. So if you're bullish a market, it doesn't look like 5920 is in any danger and it looks like we're going to push up. I don't know if we'll get to new highs. Maybe we do, but there's your your bull bear line for me.
yeah.
And S&P is 5920. So I want to bring Blake in. And Blake, how you doing this morning?
Good morning,
What
Coach. I'm doing well.
what's top of mind for you, bro?
Well, first of all, I'm just happy that well, I don't want to say I'm happy that things haven't accelerated. I guess I'm 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 I find it interesting that the market's kind of putting everything that's happened, kind of to this point in time, kind of behind the market.
Yeah,
Saying, well, you can see the U.S. is not going to be involved at this point. At least they say they're not. So the market's taking everything with a grain of salt, and you know and casualties have been limited on both sides thus far
yeah,
in everything that's happened. I mean, I think there's like maybe a couple dozen people, unfortunately, on both Iranian and Israeli side. So um and the market, like I said, it's taking everything in stride. If it's not affecting the US, then we can continue on, and so the market's putting this conflict behind us for now. I don't know if it's going to persist, but I think this week everybody realizes that there's so much happening this week with central banks, as you pointed out, the
yeah,
Fed, but
yeah.
we also have the Bank of England, we have the Riksbank, Norges Central Bank, the Bank of Japan tonight, or tomorrow morning in Asia. So there's a lot happening this week, and I think the market's going to, have a little bit difficult time focusing on different things that are happening this week. And the market only does have ADHD, and does have a little bit of difficulty focusing on one thing at a time. So it's going to be an interesting week, I think, regardless. You just asked Kman, just because I was listening in when he said this, about still being more bias the U.S. dollar to the short side. I am too. I think that the euro is eventually going to 120, but like I said, like at the very end of last week, and ironically, this all happened just after I said this. I do think there's going to be two-way price action in the dollar now, and so I am looking to play the dollar on both sides. But I'd prefer, and as I said on the week ahead video, when I play the dollar to the long side, which I am, when I do that, I'm doing it in smaller size because I think the overall bias is still bearish to the dollar. We just have to find better levels to be a dollar seller, in my opinion. And one of the key levels I'm going to be looking at this week is going to be right here around the 114.70 level, because that is a 38% retracement of this entire move. So if you can take this low back here, the middle of last month, to the high, the 38% retracement comes in right at 114.70, and that's 100 pips away from where we're at right now. So with that being said, I am hesitant trying to sell the dollar up here, especially when you get up in the morning and, I'm talking about myself personally, or Dale, that's for both of us, or anybody that lives in North America or in the Americas. You get up this morning and you're like, okay, well, why is the euro up 30 pips this morning? Am I going to be chasing it up here? No, I'm not. It doesn't mean that it can't go higher, but I want a catalyst for it to go higher. One of my trade setups for the week ahead video is selling the euro at 116.50 if we see it, or 116.50 to 117. That's what my notes say. That means I'm looking to sell a new high if we do see it. I just don't know if we're going to see it, and I need a catalyst to be buying it up here. I don't believe that buying it right now there is a reason why the euro is going to be trading at 116.50 here later today. You know what I mean? So when you're sitting here at 115.70, could we probe above 116 this morning or today? Sure, but give me a reason. I don't see any reason right now I should be chasing this euro dollar higher at this point in time. Especially knowing that the situation in Iran and Israel, it isn't over. I don't think it's, I don't think they're not, I think they're still going to be lobbing missiles back and forth, and the market will feel at certain periods that it is intensifying. And so if that happens, the dollar will retain a bid. You're going to see, if missiles get launched back and forth, and let's say, there's some major damage, people are going to go, oh shit, I need to own the dollar again. And you're going to see the euro slip right back to 115. So I think it's really dangerous to be, too, how should I say, married to your dollar trades at this point. I do find
Blake,
it.
I did
Go ahead.
notice that the DSI on the dollar has been in the 20s, low 20s for, I don't know, weeks. Okay. And there was even 117 reading. So, and after taking out the April low in the dollar, who's long?
Yeah, this is I think a big issue that the dollar has right now. Everybody, and this is, again, this is one of the key points that I made on the week ahead video on Friday. Every bank, doesn't matter what analysis you read, you're not going to find a dollar. You're not going to find a dollar bull at this point, and everybody's targeting 120 or higher in the euro this year. There might be a couple that are like, euro 118, but everybody's targeting a higher euro this year.
Well, I think we could get there, but why not shake the trees? And
I agree. I don't think they're wrong. This is the point I
Yeah.
made in the video, the week ahead video. I don't think they're wrong. I just think that everybody could be off sides here.
yeah,
And so that's the point you're
I'm
trying to
with
make.
you.
And
with
yeah,
you.
I agree with you. I don't disagree with you. And that's why, you look at these. Yeah, of course, the dollar is 17. It's a very, very weak bullish sentiment, which is always a risk of a slingshot type of reversal type of move, and that's what I do think that, you look at the dollar index, and you got this false breakdown that developed from last week
Yep.
right there, and so this is just so you guys can see it, and this is I have it highlighted in turquoise, these little teal lines here, teal, turquoise, whatever it is. This is the resistance, this is support, and let the dollar get out of there this week. And when it does, it's going to give us a decent move. Yeah, I believe. It's you hit new lows, and yeah, shit, we're going to be trading at 96. But if we get above 98.50, we're probably going back to 100, and that's not going to break the downside of the dollar, but it is going to scare a lot of shorts, and it's probably going to hurt a lot of people, right? So
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm with you too. And as far as everything else, I like you look at crude. I know these guys were talking about crude this morning. I mean, that's a hell of a reversal, from some pretty big resistance. I mean, we basically hit the 127% extension of this last leg lower. I think Kman was pointing out last week, we're at the 88% retracement as well. It's a nice confluence of resistance up here. And now crude slipping. I don't know if I'd really want to be short, but because there's a couple traders like in our chat room last Friday started shorting it, up here in the mid 70s.
Nice.
Yeah, really nice. I'm like, I don't know if Lucas is still short that. I know he was talking about it in the chat room.
Well,
It's
I
like,
hope he at least took partials.
I think he did. Matter of fact, he met up with Nick from Trading Analytics. He met up with him. Just referencing Lucas, and I'm sure he's listening in this morning. They met in Florida this weekend, which is nice. I always love it when our traders connect and they post pictures in the chat room, and we get to see, everybody in real life. It's really cool. But anyway,
Florida in June is kind of like Arizona in June, isn't it?
it's like going to Death Valley. It's actually worse than going to Death Valley, in my opinion.
All right.
I hate Florida in the summertime. It's so gross. Sorry if you guys live there. I sweat too much. It's a gross place. So as far as the markets go, I think one of the things we have to look at, and this is regarding the BOJ, and I don't really have an opinion here. I didn't hear if you talked to Ryan and Kman about the BOJ tonight.
I did not.
Okay. Hey, Ryan, and Kman, I'll come to you too. I mean, you got the euro peaking higher above, we're at levels we haven't seen since summer of last year. I mean, this is the highs of the year. After an Israeli Iranian military conflict, and you got the euro yen at actually highs of the year. I mean, is that a little crazy? I mean, and then you got even pound yen, guppy, the guppy's at channel resistance. The yen looks vulnerable. I mean, what do you make of this, and how are you going to see the BOJ going into tonight? And are you going to be in the chat room awake tonight?
Probably not.
You wussy.
Lose enough sleep, as it is. But yeah, I mean, we spoke about it at length. I think the only real risk for the Bank of Japan is what they potentially do around bonds, and there's potentially two clear scenarios that the market or that traders need to look at. The first is if they tinker with their QT, they don't cut QT or taper QT, but they just change the maturity makeup of what they're going to do within it. The second one is if they do taper QT, go un-QE, if you like, that will be a bit more bigger news, I think, than the former one. So rates, no, I don't think anyone's expecting them to do anything on rates. They've still got all this uncertainty going on. And then they've got the meeting on the 20th with their bond market participants. This was, and the government will be involved in that as well, just to trying to get them to invest more in the super long end to help with financial stability. But that's the thing. Any moves are going to be with a financial stability hat on more than a monetary policy hat on, if you know what I mean.
Got it. Okay. All right. And Kman, did you want to add to that? Because obviously you're a resident yen expert. So what do you since you traded on yen desk for so many years in Japan, what do you have to say about the BOJ tonight?
Yeah, I mean that's what we were talking about this morning, and as Ryan said, and the additional thing is, and that's where an even a potential surprise may arise, which is in likelihood perhaps not that high, but it may be that UEDA says, okay, we are going to tweak our bond buying or tapering the tapering of the bond buying. We are going to buy a bit more again, but it's also going to give us an opportunity to raise rates again, and that's going to be a bit confusing for the markets if he would come up with that. It is a fact that yen is weakish, yeah, going into the meeting. So perhaps the biggest surprise may be that for the yen, for the move, maybe that they don't change anything and they still stay undovish. But yeah, this. On the other hand, they are normally very cautious people, so I think they are going to give the market relatively what they want, and then hear from them on the 20th. And as I said on the flow show, perhaps we're going to have to take both together, even 3 days apart from each other, the Bank of Japan, and then see what comes out of that meeting that they will have with the participants. Whatever is going to happen or decided, looking at the volatility that we see in the yen, it trades it trades like an emerging market currency, right? So do expect moves to come off, even if it wouldn't be warranted in any other currency. In the end, it should always give a bit of moves, right?
And wouldn't it be interesting? And I want to throw this out there. And I know we got this Empire State Manufacturing, which came in really freaking weak. Look at that. Look at that data. That's going to push the euro right back up to highs right now.
It's very
That was,
volatile.
yeah, it is a volatile number, but man, that was pretty weak. I guess one of the things about the BOJ, and Dale, I know you have Nargis popping in here today, so I'll be quick with this. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you find her? Oh, she's here. Okay.
Yeah, she's here.
One of the things about the yen is if the I know the Bank of Japan has been very dovish, and as Kman just pointed out, always very cautious central bank. But how about if they look past all this and maybe they aren't as undovish as the market thinks they will be, because that's what happened the last BOJ meeting, and if they are a little bit more, like, okay, we have to actually resume, raising rates, or maybe they kind of make us believe or lead us to believe that that might actually happen. I would take some of these pairs like the euro, yen, and as lofty as I think the euro dollar is right now, I actually think the euro US dollar could trade back to like 114, 113 in the very near term. But if you get a a more hawkish, less dovish, undovish, as K-Man said, BOJ, and this euro yen squeezed enough to like stop out every short out there.
It did,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah. So now you get a move back below 166, and that might be a nice short. Because remember the yen is a safe haven currency by default in the market's eyes. So I don't know. I'd be inclined to short the euro yen tomorrow if the BOJ plays a mini hot card. Anyway, just some food for thought.
I think there are big trades coming up there, like probably than just being, just short dollar yen.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to be that this is like we could have what happened last year from June to August happen from some point once this rally terminates. That's a big move.
That is a big move. Yeah. Yeah. It's potentially big one. Anyway,
Stalk it.
yeah, I want to say, hey guys, make sure you if you want to jump in our I meant to actually talk a little bit about Nakaket in our chat room just asked about our thoughts on the yen, or excuse me, on the Aussie, and I wanted to talk about that with Ryan live, and he thinks I'm bullish, and I'm not. I'm actually not bullish the Aussie yen quite yet. We haven't gotten to the levels where to convince me yet. So anyway, but I'll talk about that on the Morning Edge with Steve, and I see Steve is here. Steve, we'll catch up on the Morning Edge. Hey Steve, real quick before we turn it back over to Dale, you got basketball today, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do. Okay, and you're meeting.
I do.
You're meeting one of our developer buddies who's traveling in from Canada through Greece to Cyprus. So I'm
Correct.
I'll look forward to seeing you and catching up with you on the Morning Edge, and I know our traders will as well. I'll let you go first, so this way you can get everything done before you got to get out of here.
And Steve, can you please post that picture of you stuffing the basketball, dunking it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to see that vertical jump, 36-inch vertical jump. So anyway, Steve can dunk.
Hey,
He's
you know
not
what?
only a great trader,
A
but he can,
donut.
huh?
He can dunk a donut.
Me
No,
too,
Steve's
Ryan.
been shedding some pounds, man. Steve's looking good. He's got his
using.
he's got his banana hammock body going.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
taking those shots, huh, buddy? Anyway, Ozempic. Anyway,
No,
I'm
thank you.
trying.
I'd rather
Okay,
stay healthy.
okay, all right. Well, you will. You take care of yourself. All right. So thanks, team. Kman. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, mate.
All right. Ryan. Thank you, buddy.
Cheers, mate.
Blake. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Coach.
And there go the three amigos, the dream team. And now we get a chance to look at levels with Nargis. Welcome back, Nargis. How are you? Let me unmute you. There you go. Should be able to
Hey,
talk.
hi
Hi.
Dale. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. How have you been?
Doing good actually. Yeah.
Good.
So
Good.
yeah.
You like trading Trump 2.0?
Yeah, actually, yes, there is some volatility in the market, so that's good,
Yeah.
you know. So from that angle, yes. But from all the different kind of news, we don't know, like, whether it's good or not morally.
Yeah. So let's see what your charts and your levels are saying here. You take it away anywhere you want to go. I can go with you. Okay.
Yeah. So um actually this was in March, right? So we were pulling back,
Yeah.
and it did much more than, so it broke the 5625 level, and it
Yeah.
went much below to 4800, and that was the start of the bid-in rally basically from there.
Yeah.
So we canceled all of that, and from there I had mentioned, it could go to 6085. That was the nearest retrace, and this was your new high, and also the 50% off.
So we're
um,
almost at that 6085. How do you come up with that number?
that was the cycle number, which has been one of the very important numbers from the past as well.
Okay.
So
You looking to put on anything up there and give it a shot?
sorry, I didn't
Shorts?
get you. Short. Oh, short as in
Yeah.
shorting?
Would you attempt shorts at your number?
Yes, yes. Actually, I did attempted the short. This was last week, just before all the news started coming in for Iran and everything. That's when we started to fall.
But we didn't
So
get up to 6085, did we?
yes, it was like 10 points less. If we went to
Okay.
6074.75.
Okay. Close
So
enough.
yeah,
Yeah.
so from there we came back, and it's also quad witching, right?
It's also
So
what?
quad witching, the quarterly contract
Oh,
expires.
yeah. Yeah. The options
Yes,
expiration. Yeah.
yes. So
Okay.
that generally creates some volatility. The old contract is going away, new contract, the September contract is coming up. So since I generally start tracking that since May OPEX, so XPX and ES needs to start balancing out, and then the new contract numbers need to start coming in. So that gives a very good idea of how, you know where the numbers are going to be, and if what ES is going to do. So that generally gives a good idea if you're going to get a pullback, or if it's going to be more choppy, or something like that. Specifically last 2 weeks before the quad witching itself. So that was there, and I was expecting a pullback around 60885, 6007 to 6085, and that's what we got. So technically it was in line with the what I was thinking. So that was there, and now um, it is trying to. Actually, I had some Tesla. We'll talk about it. So. So this is how it is seen. So 5929 was,
What's this, a
the,
monthly? Yeah.
yes. So it went all the way. See here,
Yeah, that was a breakout test.
4800. Yeah. So the breakout point, it went and then it tested. Now, even if it doesn't come down to do anything, it will be okay. It has released its pressure. So the idea would be to see if it wants to break out to a new high, 6241 to 6377, or there is some retest of the low pending, and even the future has some gap, right?
Yeah.
It is at 57.15 first gap here, and the second gap is here, that is a little bit far away, but this was your immediate one. It came almost, it actually it filled the higher candle, but it didn't fill the actual gap. So that is remaining. Even if it does some retest of the low, then we can go till 5,800 or so, and that would be okay in my opinion, because your Mag 7 and other important, or rather the most watched popular stocks are really tight on the upside. So a
Yeah.
little bit of pressure release can help, and to set up a good run, if at all, for the next H2, right, for the next half of the year. So I'm seeing how June, July, August plays out, and when if we get somewhere down here, then I feel personally it would be a good thing to take it back up. But if they want to continue from here, then it becomes a little bit, what do you call it? It will be a little bit more heavier to go upside. So
Okay,
it will go
so
up, yeah, and then keep releasing.
tactically, the only setup you're looking for from here is to buy a pullback. If it
Yes,
continues on, you just let it go.
yeah,
So,
continue, let it go and see,
yeah,
around 62.41 what it wants to do, plus minus 100 points. Minus, yeah, something like that. So below, our all-time high was what, 61 something, if I'm not
40, I
wrong.
think. 40?
61, 66, 50, the devil's number.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, 61,
The devil made
66.
me do it.
Yeah, so see, so this technically, see, there are three spikes, right?
Yeah,
So, and that's where it did 6075 just at these
I
bodies.
see that. Interesting.
Yes,
Okay.
and now above this, you have till here to, still in a
Yeah,
no man's land kind, still the
yeah.
retest of the high. Only above this, I'm still seeing 62.41 and then 62.41 to 63.77. But I personally feel if they keep going directly, it'll be a little bit more tedious move, right? A lot of choppiness, then go up, choppiness, then go up, then one few days pull back. So I don't like that clean moves, right? It will not be very clean, I personally feel. So a little bit cleaner would be, come down, release some pressure, make some space to go up. Let Mag 7 also make some space to go up. Uh, Even though Tesla and Apple are very good, if they want to go up, it's very good. But
Okay.
Nvidia, Microsoft, what other, Google, they all need a little bit. Netflix and Meta are the two which really, really need some pullback to, give us another good number.
o-
Otherwise, they become very, very heavy, right?
Okay.
So,
Anything actionable in WTI? That was a big.
oh yes,
Jim,
WTI,
Jim Valentine is asking.
yes. CL, oil,
Yes.
73.45, 73.45. So it comes around seven. So, it is making high around 77, 78, and it is pulling back. So earlier, this number between 77 and 78 was a very important number. And from there, it kept throwing back down, and it kept going below 69. Now it is back above 69, which is bullish if it continues to stay on weekly, and on daily 73.45. If it can convincingly stay and capture it, we are back in business. Oil will become bullish. Okay. So that's what I'm looking at. Currently, it's a little bit below, but the contracts will change also for CL. I think this week, or it must have already changed. So 73 point.
What are your upside levels, Narcus?
Oh, the actual upside for oil is 130.5. That was the number right here. 130.5, you see?
Hmm.
This one. Oh, when I go, it moves. 130.5 right here at the high
Okay.
of March 2022.
Yeah, it was the Ukrainian invasion, the
Yes, so
Russian invasion.
that was done globally, and it has never been hit uh,
Yeah.
regular trading hours. So at any given time, oil become bullish and goes above 100. That's the number it wants to hit. Otherwise, above 73.45. 81 has 81, 82. It has been where it is being getting thrown off. So, it will have a lot. So let's say it starts breaking out from here, this green line, then it has all this space to play.
Were you bullish before last week?
Yeah,
No one was.
bullish.
Yeah, there.
Actually,
40.
yes, actually,
Everyone's talking 40, 50.
40. No, I was more like 59 to 50. 50 was like, it may go or not go. So I had, actually, I do have a whole thread of CL. So so I was looking more for here on these. I think we've talked about. So I think it did come to this orange line, I feel, if I'm not wrong, somewhere here. And that's about it, I guess. So 76.3 was I was looking for. Now it is 73.45. And that's where it will start getting bullish. So this is the number to look for on the weekly basis and 73.45 on a daily basis. And it has 130.5 to hit. That means things should really, really be not that great in order to go there, right?
No,
So,
yeah,
so it all
that to me
depends.
says everyone who thinks the Strait of Hormuz won't be affected. That's
Yes.
that's the apocalyptic move.
Yes. So it's possible it may not happen yet,
Yeah.
because Trump doesn't want oil high and he doesn't want the war. I mean, so for now, at least I'm thinking this is mostly quad witching drama going on. And once the June contracts are settled, they'll all patch up and be happy. The marriage will be back on, and the conflicts may subside down back again. And
How about the dollar?
dollar is below 100, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so finally it broke 100 and it is down below here. So it is in this what do you call that, demand area. And 90, if it is 97, so yeah, 96, 97, somewhere here. And then this whole move was very fast and furious. It tried sideways for a long time and it's breaking down. So if it wants 96 or 93, somewhere there, if it wants to break here, otherwise it, one, two, three, four, five, six
when
candles. So
you
maybe a
look at
couple more
that,
candles. Sorry.
yeah, when you look at that chart, that huge straight line impulsive
Yes.
move in
Yes.
2021, to
Yeah.
me, what's happened since then is, I'm not an elitician, but it could be some type of ABC, just consolidating the run that we had from, what was it, 90 to 115. That's 25. So, maybe the dollar's setting up not just for a bounce, but another wave to the upside like we had back in 2021, which would be
Yeah.
against what the administration wants to accomplish. And just like 130 oil would be a problem, so would a raging dollar, if that's ends up being the correct count. I'm going to go with that count for a while. So
Yeah. See,
appreciate it.
yeah. So this is like once high was 164, the high is 121. So that's what, 40 points, right? Approximately the difference.
Yeah.
And this is 103. So some 20 points approximately, right? So I'm looking another maybe 40, 25, maybe another 5 points difference from here to here, and then go back up. So,
Okay.
so this
So you're
distance
thinking
would be more
92?
symmetrical. Yeah, somewhere there, 90, 93 or so, or below 97 actually. And then probably it goes back up to test somewhere here.
I like that look. That's a nice
Yeah,
bullish dollar look.
yeah. So
All right.
it can do that. So basically, always, I personally think go to a higher time frame, and it always gives a good idea of what it's doing. See,
Yeah.
the all lot of demand around it. Oh, this line itself goes here, so it matches, isn't it? The demands and supplies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You have what else is
So
are you
this is
watching
another
oh,
popular thing going on,
oh yeah. Right.
right? The
Yeah. Looks pretty
like
good.
last week or sometimes the marriage was rocky. So, and we had a lover stiff openly out there on the
Yeah.
social media.
Have they made up?
I think that's what I heard because it honored 273, so I was thinking between 258 to 273, the marriage should be back on talking terms at least. So that happened, and
Yeah.
it bounced off. And these vertical lines, I was just trying to play around for June, Elon Musk birthday thing, what it
Okay.
does generally. So probably all Junes, post Junes, have been kind of bounce up, except this one that was 23, and rest all Junes have been bouncing up 1, 2, 3, and one was down. So 1, 2, maybe, So this purple line, 300 to 314, uh, good to start
How,
moving up.
how about Uber?
Sorry, Uber.
Ooh, you'd follow it?
Yeah. Uber, I think we bought somewhere. Yeah, I think we bought somewhere here when it fell. Yeah, here.
What about
And
now?
now,
Yeah, now's the
uh,
most important word in trading.
yes, yes.
Not not the
I think
history.
um, Uber is, I think 80. I'm looking for it to hold 80,
Old lady.
uh, 80, or 79 point something. Let's round it off to
It
80.
was about 82 that low. Yeah.
Yeah, so 80 it holds, then probably, that fight with 100 is always there. Then it'll
Uh,
try again to take out 100. So then once 100 is up, 100 to 125 is exposed. So
okay. How
yeah, so
about Google?
Google 167.
Because that's been a kind of a weaker recovery
Yes,
compared
so
to S&Ps.
167, it above 167, it brings it into this
Okay.
crocodile mouth.
All right.
And then 180, 181, right here, it exposes it to a new high, probably. I'm looking for 225. That's the cycle target for Google, but
Yeah.
it has been pathetically slow. So yeah,
Yeah, it's a laggard.
uh,
Weak
yeah, it's a
sister.
laggard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now it was happy and merry, and now this quad witching thing came up. So again, it has become. But the good thing is it has been holding. It didn't move back much. It was like 173 or so
Yeah.
last Friday, I think. That's all it did. Yeah, 172 point something. Low it
Yeah.
was there, and it's holding. So I'm looking for it to hold 160. Below 167, I'll give it a little bit room to, if it's a continuous sell, continuous pullback, then I'll give it a little bit room to stabilize and then let it bounce back up again.
Oh,
But this is clear, 167 and then 181. After that, the story gets better. You get
okay.
this whole exposure right here.
Okay. And AJ would like your view on gold and silver. We could wrap it with
Yes.
those.
Yeah. So gold, we had set 37.52 as the cycle target, and it is actually now getting overbought. But on a monthly basis, it can still move. So two numbers I'm looking for: below 33.65 for some weakness, or above 34.81. It has been trying around 34.81 past couple of weeks. It's kind of it's stabilizing around here, right? So gold, when generally it does like this, then it tries to break out, unless it wants to really go down below. So if it tries about 34.81, then the 37.52, this green line is doable for it. And below 33.65, I would say it'll want to get a little bit weaker towards 3100, this red line. So currently it is chopping between here and let's do 3481 somewhere here. Yeah, somewhere here. Oh, so I think last high was around there.
Yeah.
My lines are
we're about
always crooked.
$40 short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it overpoked a little bit, which means it'll hit above that at some point.
Yeah.
So chop between this green and red or between green and green. So that's how I'm looking at it. So currently it is trying to maybe work off space on weekly basis probably.
Yeah.
And monthly is getting overbought. So any next run from here, probably that may be the short term calming down for it maybe. So see, the RSI is already getting to 86. So I will give it somewhere around 90, 92, 93 RSI if it wants to go do this directly, basically. And so see how long it took for it to break out. This was August 20 and August 23, 24, only it broke out. So around 3-4 years it took to go sideways and then break out. So unless and until there is a rush to do it fast, then I would be interested to see what happens here, what news starts coming in order to let gold sell off and the equities rise.
A dollar rally.
Probably, yeah.
And another and the 10-year going to 470. Okay. So okay, what's this? Oh, notes.
That's your TNX, right?
Yeah.
10-year. So
yeah, it doesn't look bearish to me.
So 4.5 to 4 points, what was this? 4.6. Around 4.5 to 4.7, it has been trying to resist. So once above this, it will try to go up. So I think these are the spikes. It is coming down from 4.6, 4.59, and above this, it has kind of a lot of room to play out.
Yeah.
But let's see if it wants to do something like this, a curve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this generally, like if it is going too much sideways and it wants to curve, then it can do, down also. So I would be interested. So far, under 5 has been getting thrown off. So
I mean, we had all
thing.
those weak inflation numbers. We had some sell-off in the market Friday. I think that that rates should have eased off, and they really didn't. So if they can't rally on benign inflation news, what's going to happen if we get some numbers? We got another weak number today, Empire State. But anyway, what's the best way for people to follow you? Is it on X? Do you have a Discord going? What do you have happening, Narj?
So my Twitter is here. And
Secret
I
agent
do
girl.
have, Nargis007. I generally post market directions and some important stock numbers for, the most popular stocks and stuff like that. And you can follow me here. This is, So,
follow 007 right there.
Yeah.
There's a girl who lives a life of danger. Every chart she sees, she says a stranger. In every move she makes, another chance she takes. Chances she won't live to see tomorrow. Secret agent girl, secret agent girl. They're giving you a number and taking away your name.
Thank you.
All
Yes.
right,
So
that's your that's your theme song.
Thank you, Dale. I know you have always been a believer in me.
You got serenaded today on Face. What do you think? Anyway, it was a nice date, Nargis.
Yeah. So, Dale, generally, I always talk about this when you and I meet. Generally, the
Oh
market
yeah,
pulls back, but
yeah,
we got it just before we met. So, let's see how it goes. We still have the retest of the low to
uh,
happen, and futures are up overnight. So, that's a
yeah,
big gap up. So,
yeah.
probably the gap fill is always a good chance. So, that's
Okay,
another 3 to 4 points down.
okay.
So, let's see the magic, if the magic
Nargis,
still happens.
the magic. Nargis Motorwala. Follow
Yes.
her and watch her levels.
Thank
Some of
you.
them, some of them are magnets, which means they manifest. So
Yes.
thank you, Nargis.
Thank you so much, Dale, and the team. Always a pleasure to talk to you guys and share market thoughts.
Really like a few things I saw today. Thanks for breaking out the monthly.
Thank you.
Traders don't go to the telescope enough. They're too busy with the microscope. So,
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it is a trader's market since few years. So the mindset is always very small. The people are just going for a few points and they're happy, which is good as long as you're putting the money back in your pocket. But, you know, uh, we are following the cycle. So, if we can get the right low, right high, then it gives so much more than just few points. So,
yeah, yeah. So you can take partial profits on your swing trades and
yes,
have something on for more than 30 pips.
yes.
So, okay, thank you, Nargis. Have a
Thank you.
great week. Have a good summer. It begins in a week, and I think we'll talk pretty soon. Talk in August. All right.
Thank you so much, Dale, and all the best to you as well.
Thank you. So that's a wrap, everybody. You can join the team on the Morning Edge in a few minutes. Don't just count your levels, count your blessings. See everyone tomorrow. Adios.